You ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies. Name 100 active NBA players.
100 active ones.
100 active NBA players. And we're going to go back and forth.
Victor Wembanyama.
LeBron James.
Cedric Howard.
Jalen Wells.
Gigi.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
There we go.
It took 77 players to get to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think the NBA Finals were going to last too long, because they didn't. Knicks in 5. That's the proper prediction. New York has an NBA championship for the first time in 53 years. We'll talk about it all momentarily while questioning the Spurs' ability to finish games. They blew another one. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, Michael Lee's going to join me. He'll be here in about 20 minutes. I'll talk all things NBA Finals with him. Michael Lee's going to join me from ESPN. He'll be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Shams Charania is reporting that Darren Peterson does not plan to meet with anybody other than the Washington Wizards in advance of next week's draft. Does that mean DP should be the favorite to go number 1? We will discuss that. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. The sights and the sounds and the scenes emerging from the World Cup locations continues to unite the world in ways that I think are good for the soul. Online, as you know, we all hate each other. In senseless wars, we try to kill each other, but in the streets around World Cup matches, we love each other and help each other and kind to each other. It's like the world would be a better place if we just had World Cup matches all the time. I'll ask Bennett if he thinks that's possible. We'll do that in just a bit. Ole Miss has been eliminated from the College World Series. Lost to Troy yesterday, 12-8, after earlier leading 6-2. So the Rebels collapsed. They're like the Spurs, if you think about it. We'll talk college baseball best we can. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Big weekend for DeSoto Central High graduate Blaze Jordan. Got caught up by the St. Louis Cardinals. First career hit on Friday. First big league homer on Saturday. Mom and Dad were in attendance to see it all. We'll show it to you, the 3-run bomb. We'll do that in the third segment. And UFC Freedom 250 was held last night on the south lawn of the White House. I actually turned this on and watched. Big upset in the main event.
Yeah.
One of the biggest upsets in UFC history. I'm going to ask Bennett if he consumed MMA in our nation's capital on a Sunday night during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we will eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start in the NBA, where this weekend we crowned a champion. Final score on Saturday night inside the Frost Bank Center. New York 94, San Antonio 90. Turns out, Knicks in 5. That was the right chant. They closed it out on the road once again with a dig deep late come from behind victory. So the Knicks are NBA champions for the first time in more than a half century. If you watch this weekend, you already know. If not, let me tell you how Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs collapsed again. San Antonio up 16 points in the first quarter on Saturday night. That's what you call a great start. But the Knicks had it. They cut it all the way down to 5 by halftime. Then it was a 7-point game. Spurs still ahead, up 7, going into the 4th. So for San Antonio, here's the deal. You're up 7 at home with the guy most people are calling the best player in the world on your side. Close it out, and you're back to New York for a Game 6. Let's go. That was the assignment for the Spurs with just 12 minutes remaining late Saturday. But for the second straight game and for the third time in the series, the Knicks won the fourth quarter, which once again resulted in them winning the contest. Here's a breakdown of that little trend we got going in the finals. In Game 1, the fourth quarter score, it was Knicks 29, Spurs 19. It was tied going into the fourth. And then New York won the fourth by 10. And I think this is simple math, won the game by 10. In Game 4, fourth quarter score, Knicks 32, Spurs 16. The Spurs were up 15 points going into the fourth. Then New York won the fourth by 16, won the game by 1. And then in Saturday's Game 5, fourth quarter score, Knicks 29, Spurs 18. The Spurs were up 7 points going into the fourth. Then New York won the fourth by 11, won the game by 4. Just one meltdown after another, after another, after another. Consequently, Wemby going to start his career 0-1 in NBA Finals. Big Bet Bennett, it's good to see you on a Monday morning.
You too, man.
I got a few questions for you.
Okay.
Why did the Spurs suck in fourth quarters against the Knicks? Is it as simple as because New York has Jalen Brunson and San Antonio doesn't? And either way, is it fair to call the Spurs big-time chokers?
I mean, I think it's fair to call them big-time chokers.
They look
You
like
just
big-time
kinda
chokers.
laid the numbers out there for us, so I think you can't call them anything but that. Man, I don't really know. Like what? Obviously, they got a little too comfortable shooting the three a lot late in this series, and I think it came back to bite them every time. Like I think when they were trying to coast with these big leads that they were getting in these games. You noticed that in a couple of these games, and I think obviously, Wemby, we expect to get even better, be a force in this league for years to come. I think he's going to learn a lot from this series.
He promised that he would.
And I think he's going to, honestly, like I heard the guys talking about it on Inside the NBA, and I don't think this is like, I'm shocked. Like, he does need to get a little bit bigger of a frame as much as he can with like his body size, this just, freak of nature that he is. He got pushed around a little bit by Karl Anthony Towns in this series.
Sure.
Yeah. And so like he's going to have to get bigger. I think he's going to be able to do that. And then, there was a lot made of De'Aaron Fox in this series and not performing well. And obviously the big contract kicks in with him. I don't know how. Obviously, that's a problem for them as far as the contract. They're not going to be able to move him. He's going to be a Spur. De'Aaron Fox is.
They're going to have to give him away for pennies on the dollar eventually.
Maybe so. I don't think it's as big of a problem as people are making out because the rest of that team, all the really good players are on rookie deals, and they're all going to get better.
They don't have to do it now, but they will have to move off him because, you ready for this? Now, he's already their third best guard.
Yeah.
And you can't have your third best guard on a max contract.
I think that's probably true. I just don't know.
Now you can
it's
do
not
it.
like the most pressing issue ever.
So I should be clear. It's not a pressing issue. And I think, actually, like, he stays there. I think...
He's still a good player. He had a terrible series.
He had a terrible series.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
Yeah.
I think he starts the season in San Antonio because you're right. It's not a pressing matter. I say you can't have your third best guard on a max contract. And broadly speaking, that's pretty good advice. But when your top two guards are on rookie deals, maybe then you can, right?
Yeah.
But going forward, when you have to pay Castle and you have to pay Harper,
then you got to figure that out.
The max deal 4-year contract kicks in next season, and he will not complete that with San Antonio. I think he starts it with San Antonio, perhaps because you don't want to give him away now. That's a little bit like selling Chet Holmgren now. You're selling at the lowest you could possibly sell. You hold on to him, but one thing that became crystal clear in the series is that you don't need him anymore. And in fact, having him is possibly a detriment to your team because you feel like you got to play him because he's your franchise lead guard and he's on a max deal and he's a veteran leader. But he's not better than Dylan Harper right now, or at least he wasn't in this series.
Right.
And still, even in a deciding Game 5, De'Aaron Fox played 37 minutes and Dylan Harper played 31. Those numbers aren't right. There should have never been a game in the series once it was clear who was who, where Dylan Harper played fewer minutes than De'Aaron Fox. And Mitch Johnson kept going back to that. I understand how you get caught up thinking you need to, but as others had made the point while this series was unfolding, the margins are very, very thin. And you can say, well, you don't want to panic and make these big moves now, but if you don't, it can be over in 5. And then you get to spend the next, several months second-guessing yourself. I bet you Mitch Johnson, that front office, they're doing a lot of that right now. But ultimately, they had a De'Aaron Fox problem in this series, and they're going to have one going forward, and they'll have to solve it eventually. And by solve it, I mean get him out of the way. Either way, after it was all over late Saturday, while New Yorkers were celebrating by tearing stuff up and trying to beat up Spurs fans in some circles.
I mean, it's not unique to them.
We're a violent people.
That's what happens when teams win championships, man. I don't know what they're doing in North Carolina this morning, but this is what happens when big cities win championships.
Are there hockey fans hospitalized in Carolina today?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
So we can agree. This might have maybe not unique to New Yorkers, but certainly they took it to a different level.
Did you see that one Spurs fan?
Buddy.
That dude looked like Chuck Norris out there.
Buddy.
He was taking on the entire city of New York.
And winning.
I've never seen anything like it. It made me gain so much respect for the Spurs franchise just because of that one fan.
He was like, I can handle myself.
Yeah, I will fight all of New York City right now.
The cops were stepping in, and he was like,
I'm good. Get away.
Get away.
Yeah.
I got it. And it was wild to watch. That guy's a star.
He's a star. Yeah.
He's going to fight on
Get
Netflix.
him season tickets.
He's going to fight on Netflix at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
I have watched that guy fight in and outside of buildings in New York City, and I suspect someday I will watch him fight on Netflix.
Maybe so.
He was wild.
Yeah.
So Knicks fans are out there celebrating. They're tearing stuff up. They hospitalizing a few people. Also singing and dancing and crying. It's, you got it. You got it on both ends. Yeah. So while that was going on, Wemby was holding his post-game press conference. And he said the most frustrating thing for him is that they lost the series in 5, despite dominating for most of the series. And some heard that and were like, yo, calm down, Wemby. You didn't dominate anything. You lost in 5. Relax. And I get that reaction to it. Don't talk about how much you dominated when you just lost in 5. That ain't too different than James Harden saying, we think we're better than the Knicks. Well, you just got swept by the Knicks.
Yeah.
Even if you really think that, don't let it leave your mouth. It ain't going to sound right. And so Wemby got a little pushback on this. Don't talk about you dominated the series. You lost it in 5. But on some level, what he said is true. Now, I'll walk you through it. Obviously, the Spurs lost 4 of the 5 games in the series, specifically games 1, 2, 4, and 5. There is no getting around that. That's a fact forever. But they did have a 14-point lead, the Spurs did, in game 1 before losing, and a 12-point lead in game 2 before losing, and a 29-point lead in game 4 before losing, and a 16-point lead in game 5 before losing. Put another way, there were 5 games played in these finals. 5 games equals 240 basketball minutes. And in these finals, San Antonio led for 73% of the 240 basketball minutes. The Spurs led nearly 3/4 of the basketball minutes played in this series. They had at least a 12-point lead in all 5 games in the series. They just could not win the games.
No.
They just could not hold on to the lead, close out the games. Check this fact out. In games 1, 4, and 5, the Spurs blew a 14-point lead, a 29-point lead, and a 16-point lead. And those are now in order the 6th biggest, 3rd biggest, and actual biggest blown leads in finals history. So the Spurs now own the 6th biggest, 3rd biggest, and actual biggest blown leads in NBA Finals history, and they blew all 3 of those games in the same finals. For context, consider this. The NBA started holding the finals in 1947. Since then, there have been 457 finals games, and 3 of the 6 biggest blown leads in the history of the finals just happened by the same team in the same finals, and the team was these Spurs, and the finals were these finals. That is historic. And not in a good way.
No.
So De'Aaron Fox is probably part of the problem. He was definitely part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Some of it I do think was just inexperience.
Yes.
Both on the bench and on the court. Young team, young coach. Everybody, for the most part, going through this for the first time. And I did not think they handled it well. I didn't think the coach handled it well. And I didn't think the players handled it well. I thought Wemby, even if they were able to hold on, had put himself and his team in an incredibly awful situation, because with the landing zone incident with Jalen Brunson, if they review that and go by the book, they were probably going to have to upgrade it to a flagrant and suspend him for Game 6. So even if you don't blow the lead, your whatever put you in a position where your team was going to have to play a Game 6 on the road without you. So where was that going? Probably the other direction.
Right.
So immaturity, inexperience, shouldn't be a surprise. There's a 22-year-old star, and the second best player in the series might have been a 20-year-old for the Spurs. And then they got an under 40 head coach who's never done any of this. And I think that stuff showed up. And then you know what else showed up? Jalen Brunson.
Man, he was insane.
And it's probably wrong to take 17 minutes before you settle in there. But, I mean, he just went out and won the game. I mean, 14 of 27 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 13 of 15 from the free throw line, 45 points in 41 minutes. Smallest guy on the court. Biggest impact. Even as he has been great throughout his career, as he took New York to an awesome place last season, had him on track all season this season to do something special, and then was in the process of creating what we now know as one of the greatest runs through NBA playoffs history. There were still people saying, nope, can't do it, too little. Guys like you don't do things like this. It was just Steph Curry, just Isaiah Thomas. But that's the list of little guards leading teams to NBA titles. And you're not going to join them. Monica McNutt could question it. Becky Hammon could question it. Draymond Green could question it. There were countless people who just, regardless of what, and I don't think Monica belongs in that sentence, so take her out of it. But there were countless people on TV questioning whether just, hey, yeah, he's really good, but nah, he ain't 6'1". And even if it was, that's too little to do the stuff you're asking him to do. And then not only does he deliver it, but when the chips were down, and it's like, all right, in this now, you could probably win a Game 6 at home, come back here and win Game 7 if necessary, but end it now. And he just took over the game.
Yeah, man.
And he's done that so many times throughout his career, multiple times in this postseason. And it was awesome to watch. And the idea that he gets to do it with his dad sitting on the bench with him, just that's a movie.
Pretty cool.
It's a movie. It'll definitely be a documentary. We know that. But it could also, there's a good movie in there too. Michael leaves us up next.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Sacramento King fans, whatever you do, do not swipe. De'Aaron Fox, they fire Mike Brown.
Oh, no.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Man.
Oh, no.
5 NBA Finals appearances in the last 4 years for people that were in the Kings facility.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Grizzlies, take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP? Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years!
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Mondays, I'm joined by Michael Eaves, who, of course, among other things, hosts Sports Center for ESPN. He's here right now. Michael Eaves, how are you on this Monday morning?
I'm good, man. I'm actually on the West Coast, so I'm in a great mood.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a great mood right now.
So West Coast weather, you look like you're headed to the course, but it's also 8:20 out there, so you're up a little early. I won't keep you too long. I want to start with a question where I don't guess we know the answer for sure, but it's still a fun thing to wonder about. If the Spurs would have held on this weekend and forced a Game 6, would Victor Wembanyama been allowed to play in it?
Ooh.
Because he obviously had the incident with Jalen Brunson in the landing space, and if you go back and review that, by the letter of the law, they can't upgrade it, and it would have resulted in a suspension if they had the you-know-whats to do it.
I don't know if you have the you-know-whats to do that.
I know.
I don't, man. Look, I know Draymond Green obviously got famously suspended in that series, Warriors and the Cavs, but it wasn't Steph that got suspended. Right. All due respect, right? So, Grant, we'll never know, but I would have been stunned if that would have happened.
Right. It would have been. It would have made for a wild conversation today up until we got.
Yes, 100%. You're right.
Up until we got the announcement, but now I guess we'll never know. So the Knicks win their first championship in 53 years. That's the big headline. But the subplot or sidebar is that they won it by watching the Spurs, or perhaps by coming from behind, depending on your perspective. But they were behind every game. All 5 by at least 12 points, and they came back and won 4 of those. Does that say more about the Knicks and Jalen Brunson, or more about the Spurs and inexperience?
Unfortunately, it says more about the Spurs.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the fact that they were down and a team came back, but it was the way that team lost the lead. The Spurs kept making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, whether it's bad turnovers, whether it's bad shots like, jacked up threes early in the shot clock, or just other boneheaded plays or lack of adjustments and substitutions by Mitch Johnson. Like, there were just so many things that the Spurs did to themselves that the Knicks didn't have to do anything special other than just play, right? And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Knicks championship, because they beat who was in front of them, and they did it the entire way, right? But in this particular series, more than the others, it was that the Spurs simply kept giving the game away. And at a point, it became a little inexplicable. Like, how does this keep happening And it's the same things typically happening, and there were no adjustments either by the players or the coach, or at least not adequate adjustments by the players or the coach. That to me, just watching it was stunning. And I think if you're a San Antonio fan or you're a member of that organization, you are hopeful for the future because of what you were able to accomplish with such a young squad. But at the same time, until they win it, you will have reservations about every game they play in the playoffs.
Yeah, because I'm not a 100% believer in that you can't win a championship until you go through stuff like this, because the Thunder really didn't go through much. They just kind of clicked and then they got there. But I do believe you can draw real lessons from this, and I don't have any doubt that's what they're doing right now. This is going to be, I would assume, when we look back on it, a real learning point, lesson for them. They will be better having gone through this, even if they would. They'll be better having gone through this, but man, it's a crazy thing to have to go through, because you're right. They really did just give it away one after another. Like, Wemby's got some pushback for saying we dominated the series, but when you really break it down outside of the final scores, they did dominate a lot of the basketball minutes in this series.
Right, but that to me just makes it worse.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It makes the loss worse. Now, I will say, to your first point, most growth comes through adversity.
Yeah.
Okay? In athletics or just in life in general. So this is a tremendous opportunity for this young team to grow and mature and evolve, and all the things that we traditionally have said that winners have to do, right? So they have the opportunity. They created one of the best learning opportunities in history by doing just some boneheaded stuff. So if that is indeed the case, then you know what, that will be part of their story going forward, right? But in the immediacy, some of those things that you're trying to say, we dominated, okay, fine. But is that just a coping mechanism?
Yeah.
Because you can't believe that you didn't win, and you can't believe that every game that the Knicks won, you had a double-digit lead, and you gave that up at the highest level of your league. I could understand if that planted a lot of self-doubt in people. What's really going to determine it, though, Gary, is the individual DNA of all those particular people and how they respond to this moment.
Jalen Brunson is named Finals MVP after getting 45 points in the championship securing victory. He was awesome, as he's been really, I guess, his whole life. He was a McDonald's All-American, won a high school state championship, 2 titles at Villanova, National Player of the Year, now a championship with the Knicks. He's obviously one of the few little guards in history to ever do something like this. Is there a lesson in there for other small people like myself, or is it just he's special? Don't try to make it out to be anything more than he's special.
I think he's special. I think he's the exception to a lot of things.
Yes.
And he may have been that his entire life, because what he did in that series, in this entire season actually, is not supposed to happen. It's just not, because it hasn't happened that frequently. We can go through the list of guards his size that have been able to do that. And you probably can't get past your hand if you start counting these guys, right? So he is special. He is exceptional. So I think it's more of a testament to him individually with his particular greatness than it is to say, oh, if Jalen can do it, all the little guards can do it, because that's just not the case. It's just simply not the case. It's never been the case in history that all those dudes can do it. They always needed someone. But he is a tremendous leader. The way his teammates respond to him, the way they speak about him, he is revered by those dudes. So again, that just adds to me his uniqueness as an individual and as a champion.
And I always I'm big on projecting, probably to a fault, but I'm always just what would it be like to be that? And I look at Jalen Brunson, and I just it occurred to me, he's a young man, and hopefully one day he'll be an old man. And in the time in between those two things, he will never walk into a place in New York City without somebody trying to stop him and tell him how much he means to them. And what an amazing life that's going to be to live. I bet it'll get annoying after a while, but still, the starting point's great. And then I look at the other side, like a De'Aaron Fox. And on one hand, you got all the money in the world. You're an incredible professional athlete. And I bet it's hard to walk around today. I bet it's hard to Google anything today. And there's nothing he can do to change that reality until he starts playing basketball again. Chet Holmgren, I think, is probably dealing with something like this. On that side of things, what do you do? Is it just you have to unplug? You have to be how do you handle what De'Aaron Fox and I assume Chet Holmgren are dealing with right now?
You absolutely have to unplug.
Right.
Like, you have to remove yourself from as much outside interference as possible, right? So you're not on your phone on social media. You're not watching television. You're not watching any sports shows on television. You're not watching SportsCenter, not alone the debate shows. You're probably not watching SportsCenter for a while either. And you just got to just remove yourself from that as much as possible. Now, if you're in public, you can only do so much. But most of these people who would talk trash about these guys wouldn't go up to them and say it in public. They might yell it from across the street, but they wouldn't go up to them in public. So that may not be as difficult. It's really just the modern day technology that gives people access to act a clown to people they don't know. That's what you have to remove yourself from. And
then on the other side, you've got Wemby, who I don't think has to, walk around having people tell him he's not good enough for the job he has, which is, something other players deal with, although his reputation probably did take a hit in the finals. But he said something that I thought was interesting. He seemed like almost confused, like, I can't believe we did this again. We lost again, and now it's over. And he said something that he said he'd already almost calculated it. Like, it's going to be like 100 games before I can get back here again, at the very least. And how do I get through those 100 games? It almost felt like, and maybe this is a bad comparison, but when I was little and we would play a video game, and it was pretty like you go to level 1 and then level 2 and then level 3 and level 4. And then if you lost at the very end, you had to go start all the way back over and and it was like, God, I don't want to do level 1 again. I don't want to do level 2 again. This is boring. It almost felt like he had already computed that in his head. He's got to go do level 1, which is preseason games, and level 2, which is it's going to take him forever to get back. And he was trying to almost figure out in real time, how am I going to stay locked in until I can get back to this place again. And I just thought that was an interesting thing for him to already be contemplating.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the type of person that he is.
Yeah.
And how he approaches not just maybe his basketball career and maybe his next season, but his life in general. You can tell he's a very inward, forward-thinking person. Right. And thankfully for us, he's revealed some of these thought processes that he goes through in terms of trying to complete what he sees are certain goals in his life. And for him, he's like, all right, I'm here right now. I understand what has just happened. I know what just happened, even if I can't believe it happened. So how do I go through this again so I have a different outcome next year? And for him to have already started that process, to me, says a lot about him and how he plans to approach his entire career, is being very forward-thinking and taking those lessons, even the most painful ones, and then trying to turn it into whatever his goal process is and reaching that journey at the end.
And so the betting markets have already been established for the 2026-27 season. I'm sure they'll adjust after free agency, but in this moment, the Spurs are the favorite to win the 2027 title, slightly ahead of Oklahoma City. In the East, this is interesting because it's not the Knicks, the reigning champs, that are the favorite. It is the Celtics at plus 550, and this comes at the exact same time where there are multiple reports suggesting on some level that the Celtics are considered a player for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Obviously, any deal would involve Jaylen Brown, and you probably can't get a better player than Jaylen Brown if you were Milwaukee and just trying to get the best player out there in a Giannis deal. Do we think that's where this is headed? Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be a member of the Boston Celtics, at which point the Celtics are considered the favorites in the East.
Well, look, we know he's going somewhere.
Yes.
And then if you're the Bucks, what's the best possible deal you can get? And if you look at the overall landscape of those title contending teams with perennial all-stars on their squad, who's most likely to deal whom? If you do all that deductive reasoning, it would clearly point towards the Celtics. And then if you put Giannis with Jason Tatum on that team, that dynamic changes completely. And all due respect to the Knicks, there's not anyone that would say position for position, if this indeed happens, that Celtics roster with Giannis on it would not be better than the Knicks roster, even with Jalen Brunson on it. I think everyone would say that's your second best player is better than their second best player, and you can go down the list from there. That to me, obviously the biggest domino to fall this summer with NBA transactions, trades, and free agency stuff is Giannis. And then once that happened, the entire landscape of the league could change.
Last thing before I get you out of here, and I'm going to dive into the World Cup in the next segment, but yeah, I like a lot of people. I don't watch soccer consistently, but the World Cup's on and it looks fun, so I'll turn it on. And, man, it was a lot of fun in the United States opener, a 4-1 victory. I don't know what to make of it because, again, I don't follow this stuff very closely, but you work with people who do. Are we good at soccer as a country? Is what happened in our first World Cup match indicative of more good things to come?
So that was an exceptional win.
Yeah.
That was of all the USA wins, if you want to talk about like one of the best overall performances in World Cup play, that win goes up there because it wasn't like they were playing a dog team, right. By the way. And then just how they dominated offensively. That has not been the traditional way that Americans have been successful in the World Cup. So many times you're facing teams that are more talented and you got to play a lot of defense and you get these opportunities. They were putting pressure on Paraguay the entire time to get these opportunities. So from, the people that work for us and other things I've heard, this was an incredible performance. Now the question becomes, can they sustain it? Because I've already seen a couple people say that the way they played was potentially opening them up to some bad plays behind them because they were so forward pressing with their offense. Against another team, that may not matter. But in the interim, to get out of group play, it's solid for them. Once you get to the knockout stage, though, obviously with any other tournament, the teams get better, right, collectively. And so you're playing as talented teams or more talented teams, and you're trying to play a very aggressive approach. You can get killed doing that God forbid if you play Spain or Argentina, guys who also have those abilities to score a lot of goals in a short period of time. But as an American soccer fan, Gary, it was as entertaining as we could get for a first match, and it gives those fans so much hope going forward. It's just going to add to the overall feeling of the World Cup here in the U.S. That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you're watching him on the ESPN and following him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. Enjoy your day and, get him in the fairway and stuff. All right, brother. Be good. I'll see you. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. The Celtics being considered the favorite in the East, does that make you think the betting markets are accounting for Giannis putting on a Boston uniform? I don't know. I think just having Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum back together, you with Tatum, at full strength with a full year off, you might of that still just Achilles. Take them over the Knicks. Yeah, maybe. Because they've done it, right? So I think that. Guess who else has done it? The Knicks. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't know. It's like both of these, I should be clear, it's like coin flip stuff. In the West, the Spurs are slight favorites over the Thunder to win the title, but in the Western Conference, it's actually plus 145 for both of them. Spurs and Thunder. In the East, it's Celtics at plus 190 to win the East, with the Knicks at plus 250. And for the title, it's Celtics at plus 550, Knicks at plus 650. So betting odds right now to win the championship, it's Spurs, Thunder, Celtics, Knicks in that order. Just what I thought was interesting looking at this is that Milwaukee is 250 to 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 from the bottom. So that suggests he's gone. That suggests they have baked into that he's not going to be there. Right. So where do they bake in he's going to be? It looks like Boston. Maybe Boston. It looks like Boston. Because Miami's is the other franchise you hear all the time. They're down at 40 to 1. Man, it's going to be wild to see how this shakes out. I wonder when the first domino is going to drop. It's got to be Giannis, right? And I just wonder when. You would think Giannis, because Giannis has got to go, and then everybody recalculates and says, okay, we didn't get that. So it's like right now, if you believe the reporting, Boston is in there with a Giannis package. Miami is in there with a Giannis package. And only one franchise can get this guy. And when that franchise, if one franchise will get him, the others will miss. And the ones that miss will then go, do we do a Kawhi Leonard deal? Do we take the Embiid contract? Do we hope Ja Morant can recapture something?
you don't want to go down those paths until you know the Giannis path is closed.
It's closed.
That's at least conventional thinking.
You're right.
So most people believe Giannis should be the first domino to fall, and then we start figuring out all these other moves that could involve like anything. I mean, there's some big potential moves out there. Jaylen Brown, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, Ja Morant, like big names could be moving in the next few weeks.
Do you think so? The draft is next Tuesday.
Right.
Do you think that it happens before? Because we don't typically.
I would assume Giannis, Ja, all that gets done before the draft.
Before the draft, because we don't typically see like these huge draft night deals.
Sometimes you do, but I
like we see movement with the draft picks. But
here's what I believe. I believe next Tuesday morning you and I will be talking. I'll be in New York City getting ready for the draft. And I believe Giannis Antetokounmpo will be on a new team by then.
Yeah.
And I believe Ja Morant will be on a new team by then.
Interesting.
Yep. Since you didn't ask, I'll tell you anyway.
Yeah.
Grizzlies are 500 to 1 to win the championship next year.
I mean,
500 to 1.
That's fine.
Two franchises have worse odds. You want to guess?
Probably the Kings, I would assume. Yeah, and the Nets.
The Nets have slightly better odds than the Grizzlies.
Okay, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
You have to take it up with the betting markets.
I mean, dude, they drafted like 5 guards last year, and like I don't know any of them. Like, come on,
Dimon.
Come on, man. That's outrageous.
The Nets are 250 to 1. The Grizzlies are 500 to 1.
Oh, it's because they're in the East too. That's
got to be because they're in the East.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The Bulls at 700 to 1, and the Kings at 1,000 to 1.
Okay.
And the Kings are one of the franchises most closely connected to a possible Ja Morant deal. So Ja Morant, perhaps this is your future. You can either play for a franchise that you could go from a franchise that has 500 to 1 odds to a franchise that has 1,000 to 1 odds.
Not great. I feel bad for like I don't root for the Kings because they're in the Western Conference, but I just hate that they like it bothers me the whole just we're always going to say that they're the worst. I don't know.
Well, then they should stop being the worst.
I know they should stop being the worst.
If you don't want to be the worst, you should.
They got
stop
a good
doing
fan base, and I just feel bad for them.
Well, they're like the joke. They're like the easy go-to joke. They're they're the Nickelback of the NBA.
Yeah, it's
if you
like
want to make a Nickelback joke, you make a Nickelback joke. If you want to do that same thing in basketball, it's a Kings joke.
I don't like
you
that.
just take your Nickelback joke, you make it a Kings joke. Same thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, they should.
Proud franchise. I don't like that.
They should be better. They should be better at stuff.
Fair enough.
Although they might have had the De'Aaron Fox thing right, you know.
Maybe. Maybe so. Maybe so.
Maybe De'Aaron. Maybe they ain't as dumb as they look. Hey, we're gonna talk World Cup scenes.
Oh, good.
In a second.
I watched every single match.
Well, I didn't watch every single match.
Every one of them.
Jesus.
I know. I was locked in.
I guess so. I didn't watch every match, but I watched every video I could find of Koreans and Mexicans and Canadians, and I love the sights and the scenes of the World Cup.
Oh, can I just tell you my favorite real quick?
Well, we were kind of going to do that.
Oh, yeah, let's do it the next segment. Yeah. Still
no, you can do whatever you want.
I'm saving it for the next segment.
You can do whatever you want.
You better hang on after this break, then I'll tell you.
Who am I to tell you when you can and cannot say something?
God,
you can say
I forgot my media training. Where's the tease, man?
You can say whatever you want, Bennett, whenever you want. That microphone's on every second. You can do whatever you want. You don't ever have to ask permission. But I did sort of have it positioned for the next.
Yeah,
we're gonna start.
I've never had media training, by the way. Straight lie.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if that exists. So, we're gonna get to the sights and scenes of the World Cup because I can't get enough of it. I mean, I watched the same videos 4 different times just because I can't get enough of it. But we're gonna start with a story you sent me. Stick with the NBA. Shams Charania this morning is reporting that Darren Peterson has met with the Wizards. That makes sense. Why wouldn't you want to meet with the Wizards? They got the #1 pick. But is not planning to meet with anybody else. Not the Jazz, not the Grizzlies, not the Bulls, not the Clippers, not anybody. Meets with Washington, won't meet with anybody else. What do you think that means? I'll get Bennett's answer to that question next on the Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
ESPN's Shams Charania is reporting that Darren Peterson, one-and-done star out of Kansas, has met with the Washington Wizards, the franchise holding the number 1 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, but at this point has no plans to meet with anybody else. Not the Jazz at number 2, not the Grizzlies at number 3, not the Bulls at number 4, not the Clippers at number 5. Bennett, what does it mean?
I don't think anything.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know if it means anything. This isn't the first time that we've seen this happen. Like with these guys that could go number 1 overall, that they just work out for the number 1, the team with the number 1 pick just because they want to go number 1 overall.
It could mean a bunch of different things or nothing at all.
Yeah. Like just because you don't work out for Utah doesn't mean that you can like stop them from drafting you. You know,
no, of course not.
You know what I mean? Like,
let me tell you what it could mean. It could mean it could mean any number of things. It could mean that you met with Washington. They love you.
Yeah.
They've told you, you're our guy. Shut it down. We're done here. I don't think that's what that means. I don't think it would be in Washington's best interest to say that this, more than a week outside of the draft. I don't think Washington has told that to anybody or should tell that to anybody. So I don't think that's what it means. But it could mean that. It could also mean you are hiring. I mean, that if you're available at 4, the Bulls will take you. You know that. And you would rather start your career in Chicago than Salt Lake City or Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no reason to meet with Utah or Memphis or anybody else because you want to go to Washington at number 1. You've already talked to them. That's what you want. But if you don't get that, the next thing you want is just to slip to 4 to Chicago. And if Memphis or Utah wants to take you in between there, then they can do that if they want to. But you don't have to do anything to make them feel more comfortable with it. In fact, right now, the prevailing thought about Darren Peterson is that people are a little uncomfortable. So if you would prefer them to stay that way in Utah and Memphis, last thing you want to do is go meet with them. Because best case scenario, you're the number 1 pick to the Wizards. At that point, worst case scenario, you just go 4th to the Bulls. You would prefer Washington and Chicago over Utah and Memphis. So why meet with Utah and Memphis? If they want to take you, there's nothing you can do about it, and that'll be fine. But you don't have to give them any good reasons to take you if you'd rather be in Chicago than either one of those places. That's what it could mean. Or it could mean something totally different. It could mean that he's not interviewing well and they just shut it all down. Could mean that. Could mean that he sat down with Washington and it did not go well and they said, all right, we're done talking. We're done talking now. Because that happens sometimes, and the interviews can really be bad and it's time to stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it could mean that. I don't know, but it's interesting.
I think it's interesting. Yeah. It's notable.
Yeah, it's notable. It's notable.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. The very surface level thing that I think you take away from it when you read the tweet is, ooh, he met with Washington and now he's not talking to anybody else. That must be a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get married. And I just don't think that's right. He might end up in Washington because they might, after going through the entire evaluation process, just believe he's the pick. Because from a basketball talent perspective, there's a lot of reasons to think that. So they might think that after meeting with him. But would they tell him that? I wouldn't. I would want the other 29 franchises to believe that I'm not locked in on anybody right now.
Same.
So you can call me, because what if Utah really has locked in on Debonsa? That's who they want. That's who they decided they want. Well, if Utah thinks they can get Debonsa at 2 just by sitting still, then they just sit still. But if you make them think you're taking Debonsa, then they might think they got to come up and get him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could make them come up and get him, and we wanted Peterson all along anyway, so it's fine with us. You come up and get him, we'll go down, give us another asset, and we'll take the guy. So why would you want the whole world knowing you're locked in on Darren Peterson? You wouldn't. So I guess it means something, but it probably doesn't mean the surface level thing that you would take away from that tweet. If the surface level thing is Washington must be locked in on Darren Peterson, because it wouldn't make any sense for them to want him or anybody else to know that right now.
Yeah.
Either way, he's going to get picked by somebody, and it'll be a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The World Cup is underway.
I got World Cup fever, to be quite honest with you.
I don't know that I have World Cup fever in the sense that I want to watch every match. I turned on Germany yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's an ass kicking.
Well, I mean, they played a country that's like the size of Millington.
Yeah, but I mean, 7 goals, like, golly.
But if you heard Germany was playing Millington in soccer, what would you think would happen?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
basically, like Germany played DeSoto County in soccer.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. It's like Germany against DeSoto County. A little bitty country in the Caribbean.
I mean,
a little bitty tiny island.
I felt like they could have.
Here's how small
Curacao.
Here's how small that island is. If you start, you go to Google Maps and you type it in, and it pops up, and you go, okay, that's where that is. And you start zooming out, it just disappears.
The problem is
it's just gone. You can't find it in the ocean anymore.
And the problem for them was
it's like if Germany played Senatobia.
That's right. The problem is they scored the first goal, and so then the Germans were like, "Oh, okay, it's on now." I think that's what happened there.
I thought the Germans scored first.
I thought Curacao scored first. Am I wrong?
I thought it was 1-0.
Is it Curacao or Curacao?
Curacao, I think. But
you don't know.
I don't know. But I think.
Okay. I think it's Curacao.
I think it's softer C.
Okay.
I think it's a softer C.
There is like a little.
Okay, let's learn together.
There is a little, like, one of those little, what are those called?
I don't know.
There's like a thing under the C.
A thing under the sea.
Like a little sign.
Oh, I got you. Is this?
Curacao.
Oh, well, there you go.
Curacao.
Great. Guess I'm an idiot.
Softer sea, like I said.
Yeah.
Curacao.
I only know because I listened to the broadcast.
Curacao.
I've never heard of this place before this weekend. I didn't even know it existed.
Well, I'm glad they were there, and I'm glad they scored.
Curacao.
Turns out it's about the size of Collierville.
Yeah.
It's like Germany played Collierville.
Yeah.
Curacao. Anyway, you zoom out, buddy, it just disappears right into the ocean. You cannot zoom out on Curacao. If there's one thing I know about Curacao, don't try to zoom out on Google Maps.
Yeah.
It just disappears. It's so tiny. Anyway, I don't know that I have World Cup fever in the sense that I'm watching every match, but I do have World Cup fever in that I'm watching every video that comes from every match.
Yeah.
I'm watching Koreans and Mexicans drink tequila together straight out the bottle.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm watching Mexicans throw a Korean up in the air.
That was good. Those were good scenes.
I watched Canadians walk through the streets of Toronto.
Yeah. My favorite was because Brazil was in New York for their matchup. There is a picture going around. I should have pulled it, but whatever. There's a picture going around of a you know when people do like tour groups in a big city and someone's holding like the sign that's like sticking up in there, like, here's our group. If you get lost, just look for the sign. And it's like this group of like 10 Brazilians and the person's holding the sign. And then in the distance, you can see people like destroying the city of New York because the Knicks had just won the title.
It's tough.
The caption was like, bad time for a tour.
I did see people like, there were probably people who were in New York City who have very little context for the Knicks and the NBA.
Yes.
And they must have thought this is the craziest thing I've ever...
We're just going to New York for the World Cup.
Buddy.
We don't even know what NBA basketball is.
No, you're going to New York for a war.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to New York for a fist fight.
Oh, man.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, it's good.
I watched a Mexican duck walk through the streets. A Mexican duck. Did you even know they existed? You think he speaks Spanish?
I doubt it. I don't know.
You think there's a noticeable difference between an American duck and a Mexican duck? You think one's got a little accent with his quack?
Doubtful.
I don't know.
Doubtful.
I never really thought about it till just now.
I haven't either.
Is the World Cup uniting the world? I mean, outside of all the wars and stuff, I mean, we still got wars and stuff. Outside of that, is the World Cup uniting the world?
I mean, I think maybe
outside of the wars, and don't even get me started on the straight.
Well, we're seeing so much more of it because it's in the States, right? Than we have in a long time. So I think we're just but is it uniting the world? I'd like to think so.
I'd like to think so too.
I'd like to think so. Yeah. I mean, dude, first off, this was like the best sports weekend ever. It was so good. But Friday night, man, that U.S. match, like, I was screaming. Like, it was
a party.
It was such a party. And yeah, I think that them being surprising and looks like they're going to be able to be competitive and get out of their group. I think that just makes people here like so much more immersed in it. It was one of the most viewed U.S. soccer matches of all time.
It was Friday night in prime time. Like, what do you want to? It was Friday night in prime time in. Were we in L.A.?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Friday night in prime time in L.A. Like, it felt like a big event.
Yes.
And then the United States was great. And you see the young United States fan, the woman who went viral, her picture, it was not real. It's AI. She's not even a real person.
No.
If you like Googled American soccer fan who went viral this weekend, it's like this beautiful young woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, surely, like, I'm going to wake up, she's going to be on Good Morning America. Mm-hmm. Not even a real person.
Oh.
We're just tricking us.
Well, that's scary.
We're tricking ourselves every day now. I don't know if it's uniting the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think what we're watching right now is a pretty good lesson for all of us, whether you like soccer or not. And it's something that I've experienced in my own life. Like, I know this to be true. And it's the only thing that keeps me sane. To the extent that I'm saying, which is debatable on some days. If you ever just get outside, man, and be around different people from different places, you'll find out that we do not hate each other as much as we think. We're not all as stupid as we call each other. We have a lot more in common than we don't have in common. And I think that is illustrated in every one of these scenes around these soccer stadiums right now. You have people from totally different cultures, different countries, and everybody's just having a blast. The Algerian team training in Lawrence, Kansas. And so you got, like, the locals have just embraced Algeria. And I watched this interview with these two young guys, and they had on Algeria shirts, and they were just like, it just seemed perfect. And then there's another guy, and he's just walking down the street, and it's like Rock Chalk, Algeria. And I just know that there is somebody in Lawrence, Kansas, chanting Rock Chalk, Algeria, who is also watching cable news at night, and in their own living room on TV, they hate people who look like that, or at least they think they do. And Facebook plays a role in all this. Social media plays a role in all this. But if you ever just get outside and just get around people, you'll find out that you could probably get along with just about anybody. Like, you walk into a restaurant, almost any restaurant. I think about this sometimes. There's no way the 20 tables in this restaurant all voted the same way, all watched the same shows, all believe the same stuff. But somehow we just sit here and, if you need a ketchup bottle, I'll get you a ketchup bottle. If you need a drink, and it's all just civilized. And then we all go home and we jump on our computers and we turn on our cable news and we get crazy. And we talk about that person's ridiculous and I hate this person. But then you get them in real life and it's usually just fine. My biggest eye-opener for this has been youth baseball. Like, my little guy being in youth baseball forces me to be around people who are my friends. I mean this sincerely, but that I otherwise would never be around. I know we don't think the same way, vote the same way, watch the same things. But what I also know, and this has been real helpful for me, is that it never comes up. Never, ever. They come to my home. I go to their home. They would do anything for my children. I would do anything for their children. We play golf together. We go to lunches together, dinners together. I know online we would not like each other. I know, like, in certain aspects of our life, we would both think each other's ridiculous. But in real life, everything is as cool as it could be. And that's what we're watching from the World Cup right now. People from different backgrounds, cultures, people who, if you just turn on cable news or social media, there's just no way these people should be getting along this well. And yet they're having a blast together, having the most fun together. And there's like a real lesson in there. I don't know that we'll learn it, but it's there if you want to. Go outside, be around people. Instead of tweeting about people or posting about people, go outside and actually be around people. And I'm not telling you there ain't some real monsters out there and that it can't be bad and there ain't things to avoid. But for the most part, people are pretty cool. And you can find yourself, you can get along with just about anybody if both of you put your nonsense over to the side a little bit. And it looks like for a few weeks we're going to be able to do that in this country, just around soccer matches. We'll still fight and argue and yell about the other stuff, as we should on some level. But the soccer matches have been fun. I wish the world looked more like World Cup matches. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Number 3.
Ole Miss's baseball season is over.
I guess it ain't the haves and the have-nots in college sports everywhere, huh?
Not when Troy's involved.
You're damn right. Shout out to Troy, Alabama.
Shout out to Troy, Alabama. They rallied.
They weren't supposed to be there.
Nope.
Look at them now.
Look at them now. Like, seriously, look at them now. They were, like, in the Sun Belt. I'm trying to find. They were 29-27, Troy's record, heading into the Sun Belt tournament. 29-27 heading into the Sun Belt tournament. And now they're 10-4 since then, with their first trip to the College World Series now under their belt. And yesterday, it was their first win ever in the College World Series. Beat Ole Miss 12-8 after earlier being down 6-2. So Ole Miss is just like the Spurs, just cannot hold a lead.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is up 6-2 yesterday, heading into the 5th. After that, Troy beats them 10-2 the rest of the way. Like a 10-2 run. If this were basketball, you'd call it a 10-2 run. but you're not supposed to go on 10-2 runs in baseball.
No.
That's what Troy did to Ole Miss, though. I watched it. It was wild. So season over, 41-23. And this Troy team's fun. Like, I watched the postgame interview, and they were interviewing this guy, Blake Cavell. He was the preseason Sun Belt Player of the Year.
Okay.
And first thing you notice is his accent. He doesn't sound like he's from Troy, Alabama. He didn't even sound like he's from the United States. He's not. You know where he's from?
Where?
Australia.
Oh, how about that?
Troy, Alabama.
You don't hear about too many Australian baseball players.
Okay, so I started thinking about this too. Trivia time.
Uh-huh.
How many Australians have ever played in Major League Baseball?
Oh, I'll say like 4.
It's actually 39.
Okay.
But it's 39 in the history of Major League Baseball.
I just have never. I'm trying to think about who is there anybody that I would even know?
Yeah, like I looked at it last night. Australians. There's a relief pitcher who played in MLB. There was a relief pitcher that you would recognize his name, Liam Hendricks.
Okay.
He was a 3-time All-Star.
Excellent.
2-time reliever of the year for the A's, White Sox, and Red Sox. Like, that's the name I recognize.
Yeah,
Liam
okay.
Hendricks. So, yeah, only 39 Australians ever have made it to Major League Baseball. And I'm not telling you Blake Cavell is going to be the next, but he homered yesterday against Ole Miss.
Pretty cool.
And he's got Troy their first ever win in the College World Series. So, shucks, too bad for Ole Miss. Our buddy Ren Baker, his West Virginia Mountaineers, they lost last night to North Carolina. We had that on a little bit.
So who we got? Who's left?
North Carolina's left. Troy is left. If you're wondering today what we got going on, it's Alabama against Texas.
That's fine.
At 1 o'clock. Georgia against Oklahoma. Georgia is considered the favorite in this College World Series, I believe. So today it's SEC against SEC, Alabama, Texas. Then SEC against SEC, Georgia, Oklahoma. If you want to watch College World Series today, you got nothing but SEC schools. West Virginia, Troy play tomorrow in an elimination game.
Okay.
That's at 1 o'clock. And then North Carolina's sitting pretty good. They don't play again until Wednesday. So I think it's raining through every team that's still alive. The point is, Ole Miss no longer alive. Rest in peace. We mourn the Rebels. Nice season, but it didn't result in another College World Series trophy.
Number 4.
What a weekend for Blaze Jordan.
How about that, man?
How about that?
Yeah.
DeSoto Central High graduate got called up by the St. Louis Cardinals on Friday. That's a big moment. Mom and Dad jumped in the car from right here in South Haven, Mississippi, drove all the way up to Minneapolis to be there for their son's big league debut. He got the start Friday night, got his first career hit on Friday night. And then on Saturday, you knew it was coming. Big boys like this tend to hit home runs. He was always going to get his first career big league home run. He got it in day 2 in the big leagues. Kyra, if you got it, let's watch Blaze Jordan hit a 3-run bomb.
Driven high in the air, belted. Blaze Jordan's first big league homer. Unreal.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Round those bases.
That's a moment.
That was cool.
That's a moment. More to come, but that'll always be the first.
And he's been here, right?
He's been playing AAA records.
Yeah.
So just an awesome story that I think some people are familiar with, but maybe not everybody. He's 23 years old. He is from South Haven, like actually born in South Haven. You don't see that much.
No, right.
Like
usually people move to South Haven. Yeah.
Well, it's most people I grew up with, and all of my kids, my wife, like we're all the same. Born in Memphis, raised in DeSoto County. Most people in DeSoto County were born in, but maybe that's changing now. Maybe this is a newer thing. But I just thought that was interesting. He's actually born in South Haven, Mississippi.
Okay.
So, born in South Haven, grew up here, DeSoto Central High graduate. Like, he's 23, same age as Aiden. I know we were, like, when Aiden was 6, 7, 8 playing baseball, like, we must have been around the same fields at some point. I don't have any vivid memory of, like, yeah, and Aiden's playing against Blaze Jordan. It seems like something I would remember, but, like, they're the same age and they had to be around each other at some point. Anyway, he went viral at 11 years old when he hit one out of Globe Life Park down in Arlington where the Rangers play. Like, you have no idea how ridiculous that is.
How impossible that is.
Bro, I don't think you could have take me at 18. I could have got one out of there.
Right.
All right? Like, I could maybe get him out of, 290 down the line. 11 years old out of a big league park is ridiculous. All right? But he did it. Went viral. And then at the age of 13, he hit one that registered 500 feet.
Jeez.
He hit a 500-foot homer when he was 13 years old. Won a national high school home run derby back in 2019. Gatorade Player of the Year in Mississippi. All that stuff, right? Stars at DeSoto Central. Commits to Mississippi State. And but is automatically in the draft because, And then he's picked 89th by the Red Sox.
Yep.
89th overall. Skips college. Signs with the Red Sox for $1.75 million. Spent that summer working out here because of COVID. And then minor league career starts. Low A in 21, high A in 22. Gets to double A in 23. Starts there in 24. Had an injury, like a hand injury that sidelined him for a bit. But then he got to triple A in 2025. And then in July of last year, so a little less than a year ago, he gets traded from Boston to St. Louis for former Met Steven Matz. That's looking like a bad deal now. So gets traded for Steven Matz. They assign him to Memphis. It's an awesome story. We talked about it when it happened.
Yep.
Local kid, now starring for the Redbirds, and he's been blasting homers down there. Played 41 games for the Redbirds last season. Started this season in AutoZone Park. Like I said, got caught up Friday. You saw what happened this weekend. So it's just a tremendous story. Like, baseball is huge in DeSoto County, and everybody thinks their kid's going to be Austin Riley, but almost nobody's is. But here's one where, Chris and Jennifer Jordan.
Yeah, man.
There's his. Like, he's been on track for this type of thing for a while, and now it's here. Like, it was just sort of wild to see the tweet from the official MLB account because we had just seen this from the official NBA account. It was like, NBA, Wemby beats the Thunder. He has arrived. Blaze Jordan, first big league homer on Saturday. You know what the tweet was? He has arrived. We've been waiting for this since he was 11, and we saw him hitting home runs in big league parks. Now here he is 12 years later, hitting home runs in big league parks as an actual big leaguer. Awesome stuff.
It is cool.
Congrats to Blaze and his family. We'll keep watching.
Number 5.
UFC Freedom 250 was held last night on the south lawn of the White House. I turned it on. Did you turn it on?
I watched the whole thing. It was an amazing card. I mean, it was. Like, I know that, this whole event's been pretty polarizing because it's like a UFC fight on the lawn of the White House and everything that comes with that. But the card it lived up and then some. It was so good.
All right. It's not that I don't care about UFC. But I don't follow it. I don't know these people. I recognize like Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
I recognize some of these people.
He got a quick knockout. He's back, so that's fun.
But it was an event. And I just like, hey, let's turn it on. Like you said, it was a great sports week, just incredible sports week. I just totally, Stanley Cup was just off my radar last night. Like a Stanley Cup was secured last night.
Right.
And it was just off my radar. I had college baseball on. We were watching something else I'll tell you about. And then we had the UFC card on.
Yeah.
And you're right. This event has been polarizing. And yet here, I sort of had this moment last night. I try to be logically consistent, no matter what I'm talking about. I don't want to contradict myself. I'm not saying I don't do it sometimes, but I really, that matters to me. Be logically consistent no matter what. Because it drives me crazy when I see people who can't do it. Right? Or choose not to for profit or whatever else. What I mean is this. I think anybody who watches this show knows how I feel about the President of the United States. This has been polarizing this event for a lot of different reasons. Taxpayer dollars, all that stuff. Here's the truth. When I turned it on last night, you know what? You know what I thought? This looks cool.
Oh, it was well done. It was.
That's what I thought last night. And then I tried to, in the spirit of staying logically consistent, I tried to say, if President Obama would have, for whatever reason, had the idea to put a college basketball game on the South Lawn, would I have been bothered by that? And the answer is what? Probably not. I probably wouldn't have been bothered by that. I probably would have been interested in that, curious to see it. Might have gone. So, in the spirit of being logically consistent, how can I then turn around and act like UFC Freedom 250 is the most ridiculous thing in the world?
Yeah.
It is, there's some interesting aspects to it. Celebration of America, but why were we doing it on June 14th?
Right.
I mean, do you know the answer?
Guess
whose birthday was yesterday?
Who?
The president's.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. That's why.
But should the celebration of America?
It's a year-long celebration.
Well, that's certainly the way they try to frame it.
It's a year-long celebration.
But so that's a little weird. But broadly speaking, it was a big sporting event in a unique place, and we do these types of things all the time. We put a baseball game in a cornfield. We put a basketball game on an aircraft carrier. Whatever. And so when I watched it last night, I just tried to be logically consistent. If this were another president who did this, would it bother me? And the answer is probably not. So I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm just going to watch men hit each other and kick each other and stuff. And we had we watched it through the very end. Like as a family, we watched it through the very end.
Yeah. It was a great main event. I mean, Gaethje just, oh my God, it was just shocking watching. Like, you got to understand, this guy, Topuria, he's
awesome.
17-0.
No, right.
And his last 3 wins are against legends. This dude has been on an insane run.
And he was just for betting purposes. We hear all the time and minus this and minus, it was minus 600.
Yeah, he was on an insane run coming into this match. And dude, Justin Gaethje just beat the crap out of him. I mean, it was and they call it while he's on the bench. There was even a moment in that fight where the official looked at him, the doctor, and was like, and they were like, no, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. And you could tell that the doctor was like, that eye is closing shut. I'm not so sure. And then he just couldn't fit. After the next round, it was over.
Right.
It was good. I mean, Alex Pereira lost. That was a huge, it wasn't an upset because Cyril Gain's been so good, but he's a legend. You had that one idiot there. I can't wait to see him get his ass beat one day. But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to take the UFC out of the UFC. You're still going to run into that stuff that you're referencing. But broadly speaking, it was always going to look the way it was going to look, and I was interested in seeing what it looked like. The matches were compelling. It felt like a fun night of that, if you're into that. And I'm not normally, but I wanted to turn it on, and I wasn't bored of watching it. So there was a part of me that was like, I don't want to be.
Yeah.
But it was in the spirit of being logically consistent. It bothers me when other people don't do it. When you tweet every time Joe Biden falls asleep, when you tweet that every time, but you don't tweet when the other guy falls asleep every day now, that's where you're just failing to be logically consistent. I'm sure I'll be it, but I don't want to be. And so with this, I'll just chalk it up to, that was a pretty cool event at the White House last night. There's plenty of things I can find to not like that guy about. But UFC cards feels way down the list for me, at least.
It was good, and now it's full steam ahead to Conor. McGregor's up next. Yeah, and that'll be fun. He was on camera last night yelling at Max Holloway. That was cool. That's gonna be a good one.
I don't know if it would be a good one. It's always funny to see.
It's gonna be fun.
It's always fun to see my wife's reaction because she follows UFC even less than I do.
Yeah.
And so Conor, the ad pops up on the graphic.
They're talking to each other. Yeah.
And she's like, "Is he still doing this?" Conor McGregor. She's like, "He's still."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, he hadn't been for a while, but they're trying to make it a thing again.
Yes. I think he's got a shot.
I couldn't begin to
believe.
guess. But I'll probably put my eyes on it.
Yeah.
I'll probably put my eyes on it. Be back with Carry Out.
Get ready, Grizzlies fans. It is time for the Surfside Can Shuffle. Can you keep up with the cans and find Mac the Crab?
Grizzlies, Take your fandom to the next level by becoming an MVP.
How long have you been an MVP? Since day one.
Enjoy the great benefits of being a season ticket member. Pre-game MVP moments, including Autograph Alley, exclusive Grizz Gear deals, access to member or MVP-only player events, and much more.
He's been an MVP for 22 years!
Become a Grizzlies MVP today.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. I don't know what you guys are doing tomorrow night, but let me tell you what I'm doing tomorrow night, then let me invite you to come do it with me. I'm going to be with Lang Whitaker out at Southland Casino Hotel. You can join me and Lang tomorrow night for a pre-draft chalk talk. We're going to be talking draft options for the Grizzlies at 3, 16, and 32. We'll be talking draft options, strategy. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions, too, if you want. You're also going to have access to the Charred Oak Bourbon Bar with light snacks and the chance to win free play from Southland Casino Hotel. Space is limited. Admission going to be based on a first-come, first-served basis. So arrive early. Doors open at 5:30. Chalk Talk going to start at 6 o'clock. That's me and Lang Whitaker tomorrow night at Southland Casino Hotel. Doors open at 5:30. We'll start at 6. Come hang out with us. Have a drink. Talk draft. Get excited about a player we're going to be introducing here at FedEx Forum just next week. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. Your son's next favorite basketball player is probably going to be in Memphis being introduced next week.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either.
It's going to be fun.
Let's do carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Okay, Blaze Jordan isn't the only professional baseball player who had a nice weekend. By the way, through 3 games of his pro career, Blaze Jordan hit above 400.
Nice.
If he stays on that track, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. First ballot. Jacob Mizorowski also had a crazy weekend. Did you see what he did?
No.
Buddy. So Friday night, he's the young, hard-throwing pitcher for the Brewers.
Yep.
All-time great performance. Check this out. Complete game shutout. 6-0 win over the Phillies. He pitched all 9 innings. 15 strikeouts. He allowed 1 hit, 0 walks. He faced the minimum 27 hitters. And a fastball that he threw in the first inning, his 5th pitch of the game, registered 104.5 miles per hour. And that is the fastest pitch ever recorded by a starting pitcher since tracking began in 2006, which makes it probably the fastest pitch ever thrown by a starting pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball. Aroldis Chapman hit 105.8 back in September 2010. and that's the fastest pitch ever thrown, recorded.
Okay.
But that's as a reliever. Starting pitchers don't throw like this, typically, for obvious reasons. And yet, Mizrowski hit at least 100 miles per hour 58 different times on Friday night. No pitcher has ever touched 100 that many times in the same game. So, if you were watching the Brewers on Friday night, you saw multiple things that had never been done in the history of baseball. He threw the 8th complete game in MLB this season. I started looking stuff up. Will White had 75 complete games in 1879 as a starting pitcher. There's been 8 in all of Major League Baseball so far this year. Game's changed. That's evidence.
Like it.
That's evidence that the game has changed. But Mizrowski was awesome. Historically unprecedented performance on Friday night. If you care, his next scheduled start is Thursday against Cleveland inside American Family Field in downtown Milwaukee.
What's today's biggest game?
All right, Bennett, since you got World Cup fever.
Okay, hit me with it.
Okay. You know where I'm taking you? SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California.
Okay.
Iran and New Zealand.
I knew to do this. Thought we were bringing everyone together.
Iran against New Zealand.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, FS1. Iran is minus 130.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you New Zealand at plus 100. The total is 2.5. Is Iran going to come to America and find success?
You know what, man? Give me Iran. I saw the Straits opened, I believe.
You keep saying that. You and your people keep saying that.
I saw the Straits open.
You keep saying it's open, and then I look up, and by the time I look up, it's closed again.
You know, as part of the big UFC festivities last night, I believe President Trump announced that there was a peace deal.
Yeah, he's announced that 37 times.
Okay, well, he's
announced it 37 times.
I mean, dude, they're in our country. Like, there's got to be some kind of peace, at least for, this World Cup thing, right?
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. As someone who roots for peace and wants to see world peace at some point in my lifetime, I'm going to go Iran here. This show, what we talked about today, is about bringing people together.
Yep.
And I want to bring people together. I think an Iran victory in the States on U.S. soil, maybe not in some people's eyes, but in my eyes, could go a long way.
Towards what exactly? What would it go along?
World peace.
Well, I don't think we're going to get world peace.
World peace, lower gas prices.
I don't think we're going to get world peace anytime soon. There's no evidence of that. Gas prices, I don't even really care. That's on y'all. Y'all. That's on y'all. Your president said he didn't really care about the gas prices either, so why am I supposed to care?
Right.
You know? If he
Right.
says he doesn't care, I don't know why I should care. I don't even have a gas car. So if he doesn't care, I don't know why I should care. Be mad at him, not me. I don't think we're getting world peace no matter what happens at SoFi Stadium tonight.
Okay.
But can I do this?
steps.
Can I do this? Can I do this?
Yes. What?
I'm an American. Sometimes proud, sometimes not so much. But I am an American. Can I root for Iran? I'd like to. I think they've been through enough.
I think I'll root for them.
I think they've been through enough. All right.
You said they're what, minus
130. Favorites.
Yeah, come on.
Iran's favorites on American soil. Didn't think you'd see that.
I'll take Iran.
Iran is a favorite on American soil. I bet you didn't see that coming.
I did not.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
I did not. I absolutely did not.
Okay, congratulations on your little straight, though. I bet it's closed again by 4 p.m.
Well, let's see what the result of this match is first. Yeah.
We might take Carg Island while they're playing. You never know.
I know, you never know.
We might take Carg Island while they're playing.
Yeah.
They'll be all distracted watching their little soccer match. We'll just run over there and take Carg Island.
Yeah.
Like, don't roll it out.
I know.
It sounds crazy, all right? Because it is. But you know what it also sounds? Totally realistic. Kickoff tonight is at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
You can watch it on FS1.
What are we watching on TV?
My God, I can't. You've got an assignment if you have not watched it already. It's #1 at Netflix.
What? I have no idea.
Maternal Instinct.
I saw the vignette for this. I don't know what it.
Buddy, it's a documentary. It's 1 hour 36, so you can fly right through it.
Okay.
One episode, 1 hour 36.
Okay.
Proper doc. All right. I ain't gonna tell you anything more than what I'm about to tell you. So the film stars is this woman named Taylor Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a, old country woman from, not old, she's young, in her 20s, country woman from Texas.
Okay.
Got the accent and everything. So she's pulled over. And this is like
body cam footage.
Body cam footage, yeah, for the guys. She's pulled over on the side of the road telling a cop that she just delivered a baby and needs to get to the hospital because she thinks her baby might be dying, isn't breathing. Like, she was on her story is, I'm on my way to the hospital. I'm having a baby. I had the baby in the car. Cop pulled her over because she was flying toward the hospital. And this is where we're at. And then they take her to the hospital and all hell breaks loose.
Okay.
And
I don't say anything else.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Except this. It is insane that this is a real thing that happened.
Okay.
It is like, it gets to...
I'm going to watch it today.
You have to.
Yeah. I don't want you to say too much.
I'm not going to say anything else other than it just gets crazy.
I don't know this story at all.
I didn't either. CJ did.
Okay.
I did not remember. I don't remember. This feels very much like something we would have talked about on 92.9 back in 2020.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I did not remember this story. I didn't remember this woman.
All right.
But it is a crazy story. Like you can't even believe how crazy this is. Like,
oh, I'm excited. I'm very intrigued.
It's like, there is no way this person really, what?
Okay. Stop saying it. Yeah.
Maternal Instinct.
All right, I'm in.
Netflix, #1 in movies right now. It's an hour 36. You won't be bored.
Okay.
You might be bewildered, disgusted, confused, blown away, but not bored.
Good.
Maternal Instinct. Stream it. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
What's the best thing we've read?
Okay, Sam Quinn has got a piece over at CBSSports.com. Top 50 offseason NBA trade candidates. #1,
Giannis
Antetokounmpo. #2, Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
#3, Kawhi Leonard. #4, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about him.
#11, Ja Morant. Here's what Sam Quinn wrote about Ja Morant, the 11th best offseason NBA trade candidate, according to Sam Quinn. He wrote the following. The Grizzlies launched a rebuild by trading Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. within the past year. They've tried to move Morant as well, but given his injuries, his salary, his off-court behavior, his defensive vulnerabilities, and his limitations as a shooter, there are a lot of reasons why that hasn't happened. Some team is going to talk itself into the idea that if the front office builds an offense around him, he can recapture the rim pressure that once made him a star. The numbers don't support that idea, though, but maybe a change of scenery could get him back on track.
Okay.
You can read the rest of it.
Sure.
From Sam Quinn, CBSSports.com. It really is an interesting piece. If you want to get excited about free agency in advance of the draft, 50 names. The only Grizzly on it is Ja Morant, and his name is at #11.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's going to be Tuesday. Evan Hayes is going to join me, covers the Grizzlies for SI Now, so we'll chop up all things NBA with him, talk draft. Evan Hayes will be in studio 10:20 in the morning. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.